One of my biggest problems and my biggest strengths is that I'm a huge fan of myself, as I'm sure you've noticed. I love all of my ideas. And I was gonna pitch you guys something for fun, but I think it'll take like 8 minutes, or like 7 minutes, and he just came in with a 5-minute sign. So I can't really pitch you that.
I think I can take him.
You think I can take him?
I think
How
I
fast
can.
do you think I can pitch you the first 24 minutes of a hook-dependent pitch? How fast?
One way to find out?
You think I can do it in under 5 minutes?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is a dumb idea I had the other day. Here we go! So let's say Robert Downey Jr., okay? You like Robert Downey Jr. as an actor? Yay! Robert Downey Jr. and his wife live in San Francisco with their 12-year-old daughter, and they're having problems. He used to be a very, very, very successful architect, but things are kind of going downhill. A lot of the young guns are threatening his job, and he's kind of an egomaniac, so he's gotten extremely insecure, which is leading him to butt up with his wife. And this is a complicated guy. He's an artist. He's sort of a rock star in the architectural community, and he's lost a lot of touch with his daughter. And his wife lets his daughter drive the car in the parking lot. He freaks out about it because he's a control freak. He goes like, how could you do this? You know, you bum me, you do this without my permission, you let my daughter drive the car. And she's like, dude, why are we having this fight? She drove the car like 10 feet, and it spirals out of control. The fight gets more and more intense. All of his insecurities are revealed. The wife says, okay, in the morning I'm leaving. That night they're asleep in bed, and he gets up to get water. And when he comes back, the room is fucking destroyed. Everything is torn up. It looks like someone just fucking like wild animals were loose in the room. Things are crushed. There's claw marks on the wall, and his wife is gone. The next morning, he, of course, has called the police, except for he's the only suspect. And guess what? She called her sister and said, I'm leaving you, Robert Downey Jr. I need to stay with my sister. And now the room is destroyed and she's missing. Who do we think is the suspect here? Do we think it's someone else or just him? Robert Downey Jr. is extremely freaked out, but they have nothing to hold him on. His daughter, they're trying to take her away from him, and she goes, no, I want to stay with my dad. I don't believe he did anything bad to my mom. He gets this note in his box at his building in San Francisco, and the note is on his stationery he used to have from his childhood. It has his initials on it, CR. And he's like, what? And the note says, in like this scrawly handwriting, it's been a long time. I do believe I've seen your wife here in the woods. You should come round and collect her. Things have changed. It's terribly dangerous. Hurry home. He's like, what the fuck is this? It's not signed. It looks like it was written by a little kid. His daughter is like, what is this? Where'd they get this stationery? He's like, it was my stationery when I was a kid, but it's like in NorCal at the old house that I lived in when I was a kid, out in the woods in the middle of nowhere. We like left it in the attic when we moved. She goes, well, we have to go and find mom. He's like, okay, well, I should give this to the police. But he gets this weird, like, tingly feeling. So he goes, I'll go myself. The daughter basically threatens to sell him out to the police unless he takes her. So he's blackmailed by his own daughter into going. He gets there. The house is at the edge of this deep, dark wood. It's this old colonial house, 3 stories. And guess who lives there now? Not nice people, Winter's Bone people. Scary, NorCal, like we have guns and knives, and they're like, get the hell off our property. He's like, can I just look in the attic? I just want to see, you have, this note was written to me on stationery that doesn't exist anywhere else but here. You know, please, please, please just give me a second to look in the attic. And they go, if you come back, we're taking out shotguns. He goes, okay, well, I'm just gonna go. They go back to the motel with his daughter. His daughter's like, why didn't you go in? Why don't we call the police? Why don't you check the woods? He's like, because we're being crazy. There's no way your mom could be in the woods behind that house. He goes to bed. His daughter, who knows how to drive, takes the car, drives back to the house. He wakes up, she's gone. He knows where she went. He goes in his pajamas on foot, runs there. They're only like 2 miles away. Ends up on the property. He sees the parked rental car. Engine still on, daughter gone, somewhere in the woods. Here come the fucking rednecks in a truck. They have shotguns. They're not taking this lightly. Holy shit, I'm in my fucking pajamas. I don't have my cell phone. He's running through the woods. Branches getting broken, exploding as they're hit with shotgun shells all around him. What the fuck am I gonna do? He's in the spotlight. He finds this giant old oak tree. It's huge, massive, almost 40 feet tall. The big roots. He goes down into the roots and he's trying to hide. He sees his daughter's shoe. She went in here before him. She tries to pull himself in. He finally finds this little thing, and he moves to the side, pulls himself in. The rednecks are behind him. He gets stuck halfway in darkness. They're going to shoot him in the balls if he doesn't get through. He feels hands on his hands pulling him in. He's yanked through, and the thing closes behind him, and Pooh and Tigger and Eeyore all fall to the ground. He looks up. Pooh's like, "Christopher, you're back! Oh, thank goodness, your wife's been taken by the Hufflumps and Woozles." Christopher Robinson, The 100-Acre Wood, Narnia-style adventure movie as a guy reconnects with his daughter on a road trip in the otherworldly playland of his youth. And of course, all of the different characters represent different aspects of his personality. You know, there's an implication that somehow he's controlling all of this. Because, you know, Pooh represents how nice he is, Eeyore represents his depression, self-loathing, you know, it's all that, and the Hufflumps and Woozles are his anxiety. And back in the day, he'd just go out into the woods. But as an adult, he had a lot more anxiety, and they've gotten a lot bigger, a lot meaner. I think that'd be a pretty cool movie, right? That's called a hook pitch. You essentially say everything up into the hook of the movie. And you can only do that with properties, really, because you just connect it to what the property is.